Hey everybody, how's it going tonight? So, what do we have on tap tonight? A little bit of football and a little bit of baseball. So we have got a box of 2016 Playbook football, a box of 2016 Plates and Patches football, some 2017 Prestige football, and then some 2017 Finest baseball. So we've got a lot of fun stuff to open tonight. I'm looking forward to it. The Prestige football came in yesterday, but I had so much other stuff going on with baseball and whatnot. I did not get it listed in time to break it last night. So we'll be, even though it came in yesterday, we won't be cracking into it until tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's take a look at the spreadsheet here for break number 1. Which again, I do normally break in the order that things end on eBay. So we're going to do our football first tonight, and then our Finest baseball will bring it up towards the end. So first up, one box of 2016 Panini Playbook football. And this is the first time we broke in 2016 Playbook. And really I don't know why. I guess I was just busy breaking other stuff. So there you go. Anyway. Our eBay end date, that was tonight, and of course our live stream schedule, that is right now. Team names are down the left, and our winning bidder names are down the right. Anything that says no bids buyback is an unloved, unwanted orphan team. Anything that comes out for that team, it'll just hang out here with me. Anything marked unpaid means the team was sold, but payment did not come in. At least at the time the spreadsheet was finalized, which tonight was about 3 minutes before the scheduled start of the break. So held it back for quite a while tonight because we do have several unpaid teams in a variety of spots, but a lot of them are people I know, so I'm sure something just came up, and you know that happens to all of us, and they'll get the payment in and life will be good. I was just moving that cord because I was feeling pretty sure I was going to end up somehow running into it and knocking the camera over, and I still feel that way. So I'm just going to scoot the camera just a little bit so I can also scoot the cord a little bit. If there's one thing I think we've learned, it's that I'm not super coordinated, and if there's a possibility to knock something over, you can just about guarantee that I'm going to do it, right? I mean, how many times have I knocked stuff over in breaks? Like, a lot. A whole lot more than I want to, but yet there you go. All right, so first out of the box here, we have an AJ Green for the Bengals. That is numbered to 199 on the AJ Green. We pulled an AJ Green autographed football helmet last night, one of the full-size helmets. It was a nice one. Our booklet is for the Texans, and you know, I had a feeling that we were going to pull Will Fuller tonight. When I was doing the spreadsheet, I looked at who had the Texans, and I also just thought to myself, I bet we're going to pull Will Fuller. And here is Will Fuller to number 149, 62 of 149 with 2 pieces of cloth there on either side. So there's your little Will Fuller booklet. And the redemption. And the redemption is Dez Bryant. That's nice. Slant signatures, Dez Bryant. So let's go into the checklist and see if we can figure out what that's going to be numbered to, because I always find that to be interesting. And I don't know what is going on there. My iPad just had a little momentary, I don't know what it did. It did something kind of weird. It just started playing something there all on its own, and I don't really know why, but that's okay. It definitely, even outside of Siri, I think it has a mind of its own sometimes. I'm just getting through the 900 drop-downs on the checklist here so that we can see what this is going to be numbered to. That is slant signatures. If you guys have ever used the Panini checklist, you know it's 400 miles of scrolling. All right, so that is going to be to 25. So nice Dez Bryant. I kind of thought that might be low numbered, and happily it is. Okay, so to review, out of 2016 Playbook, we have, What is this iPad doing, man? That thing is crazy. We have the Dez Bryant redemption, which will be numbered to 25, and of course, for a change, not expired, since this is a new product, or relatively new. Will Fuller booklet for the Houston Texans, numbered to 149 with your dual fabric there. And then AJ Green for the Bengals, numbered to 199. And that is Playbook. Now let's bring up the spreadsheet for plates and patches, because I'm pretty sure that is what ended next. And if my iPad will stop playing like, what is it doing? It's just playing, I don't even know what over here. It's gone crazy on me. Okay, so we are looking at break number 2 tonight, which is one box of 2016 Plates and Patches football. And this is actually the 10th time that we have broken plates and patches. And same format as before. You'll see the team names and the winning bidder names, and quite a few unsold teams in here, and a handful of unpaid teams as well. But that bidder is known to me, so I'm pretty sure that something just came up and it will be fine. I'm not going to resell any of that stuff tonight. So I think the majority of the people tonight, I know who they are. So I think maybe a couple I don't, but the most of them I do. Plates and patches. You guys know I love plates and patches. We've got some 2010 that I got listed tonight, because I realized I was like, why haven't I broken any 2010 recently? I have some here. Yeah, well, because I didn't list it. I guess that would be why. It makes it a little bit hard. Makes it a little bit hard to sell the break if you don't list the break, huh? Kinda. And of course, everything in here is numbered. So all of our cards, even our base cards, will be numbered. Our first up is Michael Thomas to 79 for the Saints. And one thing I should point out, I probably should have pointed it out on the playbook too, but it seems to be more prominent in the plates and patches, is there is typically a little bit of corner and edge wear on these, and you can particularly notice it like on this one when it's a darker color down there near the bottom. You'll see some chipping and things that just comes that way out of the pack. Drew Brees to 50, so there's 2 in a row coming out for the Saints. I'm trying to get that in a way that shows up better, but that numbering just doesn't seem to want to cooperate with us. Hi, Jupiter and Aaron and Fred. How's it going, guys? There's Jacoby Brissett to 50 with a nice patch. I mean, you've got 4 colors in the patch, which is great. Sticker auto, and again, you know, we've got some little dents and dings down here on our corners and edges, but still, that is a nice Jacoby Brissett coming out for the Patriots. And then Michael Thomas, it's a Saint kind of box, because this is the 3rd Saint in this box. There's Michael Thomas patch to 75, and that is a nice 3-color patch. And looks like you've again got a little bit of edge and corner stuff, but nothing that is, you know, horrible on that one. And our plate is coming out for the Redskins, Nate Sudfeld. It's the yellow plate, 1 of 1. Of course, all the plates are 1 of 1, and that was used in 2016 playoff football. And the plates, you know, are always going to have some marks and surface scratches on them because, well, you know, I mean, they used them in the actual printing of the product. So they're always going to have a little bit of interesting marks on them. Next up, we have a 1/3 of a case of Prestige football. And you're probably wondering why I did a 1/3 of a case. And really, because I don't know why. I should have done it as a half case. And I think I thought that it had more base cards in each box than it has. And so that's how I broke it up. So there we go. It's going to be done in 1/3s. And they're all already listed, so I can't really change it. So we'll scroll down through here and take a look at who we have in this break. And again, anything that says unpaid, I do realize payment may have come in the interim. It just was not here at about 3 or 4 minutes before the break, and I had to get the spreadsheet ready to rock and roll. So that's why it's marked that way. But as long as you send in the payment, we will be all good. Oh, you're watching Cardinals and Marlins Pirates. All right. Well, are either one of those games doing any good, Jupiter? Any of them interesting? Either of them, I should say. All right, I'm looking to see how this case is set up. Okay, this case is set up kind of interestingly. So here's what we will do. We're going to take everything out. We got to move a little bit of this Finest baseball kind of so I can have some room here. We're going to take them all out. We're going to label them on the end, or number them, rather, not label. And then we will let random decide for us which of these we're going to open tonight. Because this wasn't in the box in a way where I could have just said, like, right. I guess I could have said right, left, or middle, I suppose. Probably what I should have done. But it's kind of too late now, so. I'm like, I'm not quite all here mentally at the moment, I don't think. I feel like John McCain at the Senate hearings today. I'm just not quite able to spit it out. Of course, his excuse was that he was watching the Diamondbacks late into the night last night. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but it was like when I was watching it earlier today, I thought, I was like seriously questioning whether or not the guy was like having a stroke on the air. I mean, it was so bizarre. It didn't make any sense at all. But anyway, so we are going to put in our 1 through 12. And the first, however many I'm trying to say here, first 4 numbers that come up will be will be the 4 that we open tonight in our third of a case. All right, that is 10817. And the kind of day I'm having, I better write that down. 10817. I tell you, it's like one thing just kind of, I didn't used to be this way, but it's, I always have kind of a plan set out for how my night's gonna go, right? Like I have a certain time that I'm gonna be listing, and I have a certain time that I'll be breaking, and a certain time I'll be sorting and all that. And sometimes when my stuff gets just slightly out of whack, I don't know, it gets me all messed up. Like mentally, it just messes with me. I can't explain it. 10 and the 8 and the 1. Now, did I just put the 7 down in the floor like an idiot? See, I told you. I'm having one of those nights. I was not kidding when I said that. Now I can't even find the 7. Do I still have the 7 on the... What is on the table? Oh, brother. All right, there's the 1 and the 8. There is the 10. So I am missing somewhere. I set the 7 down. Ah, there's the 7. Good gracious. All right, well, that was entertaining. Now, let's get about the business of opening this up to see what we can find. Oh, you meant you were watching the card breaks. I thought you meant you were watching the Cardinals play baseball. Okay, well, there you go. So the Marlins are winning. All right, that's cool. But they're trying hard to lose. Yeah, sometimes it feels that way, doesn't it? When we're watching our teams play, it feels like they're trying hard to lose. All right, let's see. This is my first time opening this too. I'm assuming each of these packs is going to have something in it. So I think we have 4 hits per box. So each of these gigantic packs should have something in them. So we'll just have to fly through it here and see what it is. And if we have, of course, anything in here that's in a collegiate uniform, if they don't also have the team name on it, we'll verify that before they're shipped out. I just wanted to make a note on this in case you see this when it's flying through here. You see that he's still in his Saints uniform, but it does say on the card that he was traded to the Patriots, and it does say New England Patriots down there at the bottom. So the Patriots, of course, will get that card. But sometimes when you're just kind of flipping through like this, it's easy if you're just looking at the uniforms and you might think, oh, hey, that's, my card. But that's why I wanted to point out some of those, on traded players. That's how they're always going to be sent off to the team that is printed on the card. So they do have their updated teams on here because you can see where it says the Rams down there for Cooper. So even though they are in their college uniforms, there's my little Juju Smith-Schuster. It does have the correct team name on the card now. Ah, stupid rewards points. Daggone it. Means it replaced our hit, which I thought this was going to be our hit, but it isn't. Because the dumb rewards points replaced our hit. And every single time, I have not been watching the St. Louis Cardinals. No, I have not been. I have been neglecting most of my sports recently. I've had a lot going on. I've been super busy, and I just haven't had time to watch a lot of stuff that I would like to watch. But in regard to these points cards, every time I open one, I tell you guys this, and I really mean it. You should go on to Panini's Twitter and their Facebook and any place else that they have a social media presence and complain that we do not want our hits replaced with rewards points cards. There's Mitch. Somebody sent me a message, wanted Mitch pulled. Of course, I know you want it with a signature, but there he is anyway, so it's a step in the right direction. So I think that Panini's confused because a reward should be a good thing, yet when it replaces one of our hits, I don't think anybody feels good about that. So I think if they're going to add those, they should just be extras in the pack. They should not be replacing something that we were expecting to get. There's Donta Foreman for the Texans, and it is, if I could hold it the correct way, number 37 of 100, which I think you can catch that. It's right up there, right there. So nice little Foreman hit for the Texans. And here we have one of our passports. These are one of my favorite. These are one of my favorite things, actually. When we get the little NFL passports, I like them. And of course, I would love to have one with a signature on it. And what is that? Some kind of little weird kid reporter advertisement card. You know what? There will be, over the course of the season, all of the things that we will open for 2017 football, there'll be a ton of those little kid reporter cards. So if you guys, somebody has a kid, and you want some of those codes to enter your kid into that Super Bowl kid reporter thing, send me a message on eBay and let me know, and I'll be happy to shoot you some codes over. This is numbered 250, Eddie Lacy, because I'm sure we'll have a whole lot more than what we're just going to find tonight over the course of the season. There's Isaiah Crowell to 150, which I should make sure is that Eddie Lacy. Yeah, that Eddie Lacy is to 50. And, of course, he goes to the Seahawks now, too. Don't forget, he was traded. And every time I see Eddie Lacy, I'm still going to be thinking about the Packers, because he's just always going to be a Packer to me. No matter that he's really a Seahawk now, officially, technically. Another one of our little NFL passports. And there I thought I had all these cards finally going the right way. And still they're upside down. Makes me crazy. Crazy, crazy, I tell you. And our signature here is out for the Seahawks with the Darbo. And that is a sticker auto. It kind of looks like it's on card just because of the, light coloring in the photograph, but it is actually a sticker auto. All right, so 17 Topps Finest, I sure am. Right after we do this 17 Prestige Football, next in the line after that is, in fact, the back half of a case of 17 Finest Baseball that we started last night. And we're going to finish up that case tonight. And then the rest of the 17 baseball that we have coming up in the foreseeable future, we're going to break in full case quantities. But the very first case, I broke it as 2 half. That's Kid Reporter. I was getting ready to complain again. I thought it was another points card. So I broke the first case in half cases. And sometimes I just think that's nice to do, to give people who maybe can't afford the buy-in price on a full case break for some of the hot teams, you know, like the Yankees are right now. It's a little more affordable on a half case. So sometimes I will bust up some of them that way to give everybody a chance to play. That is to 150 on the Chad Kelly. But we do have, I've got quite a bit of fineness, so we'll have several other cases, full cases and things to do, and I might do another one half somewhere along the way. You never know. Gerard Davis to 150 for the Lions. And our dumb points card was our 4th hit out of that box. To buy into the break, well, of course, tonight's break is already sold and done, but all of the other breaks, the upcoming breaks, if you go on to eBay and you go into search, actually, I think you have to go into advanced search. So if you go to eBay and then you go to advanced search, which I think the little button for advanced search is roughly in the upper right-hand corner on pretty much any eBay page, I think. And then when you get to advanced search, you would go to items by seller. And then my seller user ID, yeah, I know, I'm going to take some flack for this, is Flea Burger. Flea like you have on an animal, F-L-E-A, burger like you eat, you know, all one word. Flea Burger is my user ID on eBay. And I laugh even as I say it out loud. So if you go into eBay and you do that, advanced search, items by seller, and then type in Flea Burger, it will bring up all of my current auctions, and then you can sort them however you want to look at them. You can sort them as, you know, ending soonest or newly listed or by sport or however you want to look at them. And that is where you will find them. I usually have anywhere from 800 to 1,000 listings at any given time because, you know, each break is 30 or 32 listings to take care of every team. Jordan Reed to 150. So there's pretty much always breaks up there of all kinds of stuff. Football and basketball, baseball. Elijah Hood coming out for the Raiders. So now, of course, I want to see my Steelers, right? I want my Steelers players to, just because I want to see them, even if right now they're not mine, of course. They're going to be sent on down the road to you guys. Still, I want to hold them in my hands until I have a chance to buy into some breaks and get them myself. Oh, look at that. I probably just turned those upside down myself. And I like our class this year. I like our Steelers rookie class. So we'll see if they turn out to be all that I think they're going to be. It's a nice little Mahomes NFL passport. Still seems weird to see Dak and Zeke go by without the rookie card label, you know? I mean, still just so used to breaking them as rookies. It's kind of hard to believe we're already in our 2017 rookie seasons. 150 on the Cameron Meredith for the Bears. And our signature coming out is for the Dolphins, Charles Harris. And that is numbered to 150. Looks like that is 65 of 150 on the Charles Harris. And that must be in honor of you, Jupiter, that we pulled the Dolphin, right? That's what I'm thinking. Oh yeah, Steve, you're a Steelers fan too. Awesome, man. I have a I don't know. Of course, I have a lot of Steelers gear. I wear lots of Steelers gear around. So I always like to say, like, oh, I find all the Steelers people around me that are fans. But I think probably just as often they find me because I'm wearing Steelers gear. But like even down to my UPS guy and my FedEx people, like I know what teams everybody's interested in, and I'm a pretty hardcore Steelers fan. And one of my good friends is, she and her family, they're all Ravens fans. And that makes my life very difficult at times, especially if we lose to the Ravens, like the year they won the Super Bowl. That was a horrible time. It was a horrible, horrible time to be a Steelers fan in my household because of my friends that are Ravens fans. There is the Kaya to 100. And there is Sa, I think that's how you say his name, to 25. Another for the Dolphins. And our signature, oh nice. So we've got a little, we've got one of our draft day signatures on card, and that is Evan Ingram. So that's a nice little hit there. And that most likely means that Evan Ingram was at the NFL Rookie Premiere. Most of the, well, good grief. Most of the on-card autos in Prestige come from the rookies that were at Rookie Premiere. Oh, yeah. We're going to have, Juju Schuster-Smith is going to be awesome, I think. I agree with you on that. I'm real pleased with our draft class in general. I think it's going to be good. Oh, and somebody is a Redskins fan. Spider, you're a Redskins fan. I have another friend who's a Skins fan. Yeah, she grew up in the Baltimore, D.C. area, and she's a big-time Redskins fan. And the rest of her and she's also a Patriots fan, and the rest of her family are big Patriots fans as well. But I don't have the same kind of intense rivalry feeling with the Redskins or really any other team as I do the Ravens. I mean, there's plenty of other teams, certainly. The Bengals, probably. I have a pretty good rivalry with the Bengals, but still, it's not the same as how I feel with the Ravens. It's just one of those interconference rivalries that is inexplicable, I guess. Ryan Sweetser for the Cowboys to 150. And that must mean that Jonathan Allen, speak of the Redskins, is our signature. I'm going to scoot some of these down the way onto the sorting part, onto the sorting mat. It's like the sorting hat in Harry Potter, right? We got to move it onto the sorting mat. I wish there was a magical sorting mat that did all the team sorts for me. You'd get your stuff a lot faster if there was a magical sorting mat. But sadly, there is not. Oh, Michael, you're Bears and Falcons. Okay. And Fred's a Cowboys fan. Yeah, I'm really okay with pretty much any team until you play my Steelers. Now, when you play my Steelers, obviously I want the Steelers to win. But as long as you're not playing the Steelers, hey, I'm good. I'm good with anybody winning as long as they're not playing the Steelers. But when you come to Heinz Field, I gotta put my foot down and root for my team entirely. But outside of that, outside of when my terrible towel is flying, I'm good with all the other teams. And there are my guys, 2 of them anyway. But really, I just think it's fun. It's fun to watch all the rivalries, even the ones that we're not part of. for me anyway. That's to 100 on the Travis Kelce. And our signature, speaking of the Ravens, there's Tim Williams coming out for the Ravens. Which I'm not really familiar with Tim Williams, so I don't even know, know anything about him. If he's good, bad, or otherwise, I don't know. But I guess we'll be finding out how everybody is in a few months. Until then, we're all just going crazy over the top draft prospects, or the ones that we like the best anyway. And then by about December, we'll figure out whether or not we have collected the right cards. And if we haven't, we'll all be scrambling, trying to get the ones that turn out to be better than expected. But it's a rite of passage. That's how it happens every year. So there's always somebody a lot better than you expect, and there's always some that are a whole lot worse than we expect. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little hit on Blue Chip Prospects, numbered to 25 on the Mahomes. So, nice little hit there on the Patrick Mahomes. Sweet, sweet, sweet little hit to 25. Speaking of rookies with high expectations, that would be one of them. Everybody's, even though he's not necessarily projected to be the starter, I think that I've got pretty high expectations for him. Yeah, I'm just trying to get all these going the right way before we even get into the heart of this thing, because, you know, I can't stand turning this 15 ways once we start flipping through it. So instead, I just turn it 15 ways before we start. And there's another lovely points card. So another hit replaced with a stupid points card that no one wants. So we have two of those now that will go to random that have replaced two of what should have been our autograph hits. I'm telling you, if enough of us complain on a regular basis, they will stop doing that. That is to 150. But until we complain enough, I mean, why wouldn't they do it, right? Cost them nothing to put that in there. And like, I have some of those that I've never even redeemed. Because they, you know, I don't know. It just seems like they don't have stuff up there that you want a lot of times. And if they do put something up there really good, then you either don't have enough points for it or somebody else beats to it. I mean, just put the hit in the pack and get rid of the on average verbiage that they use that allows them to do that stuff. And we'd all be much, much happier people. All right. And that's another little kid reporter doodah thing there. The Lions. Oh, you know what? We will do a recap of the break, of the hits in the break at the end of the break. So if you'll just hang out and let me get through this last pack and that last box, then we will do a hits recap. That is to 100 on the Odell Beckham Jr. That is to 50 on the McKinley. And our hit for the Titans, Adoree Jackson. So now, when I say that, Michael, I mean, we're going to recap the, autograph hits, but I'm not going to have time, because we have another break after this, to go through and, literally find every Lions card in the whole thing for you. But I can certainly show you the hits again, because we do that. I do that anyway as a recap at the end of the break. And if you really, really wanted to see every single card in the break again, I could do that at the very, very end if you hang out that long. I mean, after we did Finest and all that. If you literally wanted to see the base cards and everything, because I'm not sure what you're asking me for there. Well, redemptions, Spider, at least. Okay, well, first of all, let's go back a minute. Because that points card, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. That points card doesn't necessarily get you anything except points. And then they have a website where you can go and look and see what they have available for points, which sometimes is materials cards, sometimes it's signatures, but very seldom is it going to be something that's really high profile or something that you want. I mean, right now, this is a product that is full of signatures of our brand new rookie class, of our 2017 rookie class. So would I rather have a signature of someone in our brand new 2017 rookie class than a rewards card point that may or may not ever get me anything? Absolutely, I would rather have the signature out of the rookie class. Now, your next part of your question is, would I rather have a redemption? Sure, I'd rather have a redemption because eventually you're going to get the card. You may have to wait a little bit on it, but in my estimation, yeah, I would rather have, let's say, just for the sake of argument, that that it would have replaced. Wait a minute, there it is. I was saying, where's our hit in here? Dede Westbrook to 100 for the Jags. So let's say, for instance, that instead of that points card, it should have been a Leonard Fournette autograph. So would I have rather had a redemption for a Leonard Fournette autograph that I maybe had to wait 3 or 4 months to receive, but I would actually get? Yes, I would. I mean, that points card, I mean, obviously, I guess different people feel different ways about them, but to me, those rewards points cards have little value because it is, as I said, so seldom that there is something up there that you want, and when something does go up that you want, it is either requires a tremendous amount of points, which these, as you see, were only 150 and 250 points, or it's so popular that everybody's jumping in there trying to get it simultaneously, and you still end up not getting it. So any day of the week, I would rather have something in my hand than the possibility of, them sometime at some point putting up something in that rewards program that I might want. Maybe not everybody agrees, I don't know, but again, to me, I don't think it is a reward when you're replacing something that is advertised as being included. When they say 4 autographs per box, and then that's what you expect. But that's also why they put that little asterisk, why can't I say that word? Asterisk, whatever, you know what I mean, that says, on average. That's why they put that in there, so they can replace some of the hits with those points cards. Elijah Qualls for the Eagles to 100. Yeah, well, I mean, I know there are people that complain about redemptions, sure, because you have to wait on them. It's not instantaneous, and that's part of it, sure. But would you, again, then if that's the case, then put all the points cards at the same value, whatever it is, 1,000 points or whatever, then put everything available that you have up for 1,000 points as well, and add some things to it that people actually want. So if that is the goal, then okay, then do that, Panini. Then don't make something, give somebody 150 points and then make everything they want 1,000 points and then only add new stuff once every 5,000 years and only add something new that someone actually wants every 10,000 years. So, I mean, I see what you're saying, but I do think there's a much better way to do it than what they have done up to this point. Oh, look who it is. Not that, but there that is. Yes, buddy. For my Steelers, there's Josh Dobbs, numbered till 100. And speaking of rivalries, I'm a UK graduate, and Josh Dobbs played for Tennessee, so that's one of our rivals in the SEC. So it's hard for me seeing Josh Dobbs in that orange Tennessee uniform and having warm fuzzy feelings for him because he is a Steeler now. It's kind of like sending mixed messages to my brain. I have to reprogram myself to a certain extent now that Josh is a Steeler. But yet seeing him in that Tennessee orange is still a bit jarring. All right, so let's see what else we can find in here. We've got one autograph left, unless it is going to be another points card, which hopefully it is not. And it is not. It is a nice little signature for the Cowboys with Byron Jones, numbered to 100. All right, so let's recap our hits out of Prestige Football, and then we will random our lovely friends there, and then we will be moving into 2017 Topps Finest Baseball. So first up, Byron Jones to 100 for the Cowboys. Josh Dobbs to 100 for the Steelers. Elijah Qualls to 100 for the Eagles. Dede Westbrook to 100 for the Jags. Adoree Jackson for the Titans. Patrick Mahomes, numbered to 25, which actually I think is pretty sweet. And I'm going to set that aside because you may, if somebody wants that in a one-touch, let me know. Tim Williams, Jonathan Allen, Evan Ingram, that's another nice one, but unfortunately the Evan Ingram is not numbered. Charles Harris, Elijah Wood, Jared, oh, there's a Lion. Whoever asked me about the Lions. Jared Davis, Darboh, and Foreman. And those are our hits out of Prestige. Now we got to deal with these two randoms. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in, of course, all of our teams from this break. And then the top two, the first, whoever comes up number one on random, I'm going to see if I can spit this out. Whoever comes up first will get the card for 250 rewards points. Whoever comes up second will get the card for 150 points. That makes sense? So whoever comes up number one after we randomize this will get the 250 points. Whoever comes up number two will get the 150 points cards. All right? So here we go. So the Lions are going to get 250 points. The Panthers are going to get the 150 points. And I'm going to leave that up there for a hot second while I try to find my marker, which was laying here, and yet I've somehow managed to move it. What the heck? I just had it. Ah, there it is. All right, so that I can write on here, Lions on the 250 points, Panthers on the 150 points. All right. So that is added to the end of our hits recap. 250 points go into the Lions. 150 points go into the Panthers. And that, friends, is Prestige Football. And it's time now to go to baseball. Time to get some big hits in Topps Finest Baseball, because we should have our case hits still in here. Our case autograph. Case hit autograph should still be in here. So this again is a half case, 4 boxes. The first half of this case we broke last night, which was release day. eBay end date, that's today. And there's our live stream and same format that you are accustomed to seeing. And on the unpaid team, again, I realize you've probably paid since this spreadsheet was finalized, because that's now been 45 minutes ago. I finalized it right before the break started. And I don't check messages or eBay while I'm breaking. You guys get my undivided attention while we are doing the break. So no worries. As long as the payment comes in, you're going to get your cards. So no worries. So on Finest, we had the Finest Careers Ortiz die cut we did find last night. Now, someone told me, and I don't remember reading this, and I meant to look it up today, and I forgot, but somebody told me they thought that there were 2 of those die cut Finest Careers in each case this year. In the past, there's only been 1. So if there are 2, you know, then we would find another one tonight. If there is only 1, obviously we found 1 last night. There should also be in this case a one of the finest greats, finest careers, finest somethings autographs, and we did not pull that last night. So that autograph case hit should still be in here. And if anybody was in the break last night for the archives, and you know I kept saying, like, why can't I figure out who our case hit autograph is? Because I didn't think we had already pulled it, but I couldn't figure out what it was, and I couldn't recognize which card it was. It was the Ozzie Smith Mini. It was the Ozzie Smith Mini out of archives last night was the case autograph. And I say that because I recognize that some of you, I recognize from the user IDs, were also in that break last night. Oh, and I forgot to say for the football folks, and they've probably already gone, I expect this stuff that we're breaking tonight will probably ship out on Monday. And some of it could go out a little earlier, but the bulk of it will probably be Monday. Just as an FYI, I do like to kind of try to keep everybody informed. Wow. Okay. So of the finest case breaks, I'm reading this out loud because, you know, sometimes people watch this later and they don't have access to the chat. There's a Schwarber refractor. So in chat, somebody is saying that of the 2017 Topps Finest, which is what we're breaking right now, out of the case breaks that he has personally seen, 2 of the cases only had 1 die cut, which would be similar to what they were last year. They only had 1. But then he had another case had 3 finest career die cuts in it. So that's kind of crazy. Oh, look at there, right out of the first crack out of the bag. Dansby Swanson, nice hit for the Braves. Nice Dansby. And that is a different card design. Oh, because that's Finest First, I bet. Is that Finest First? No. Huh, maybe it is not. Maybe it was Finest First we pulled oh, yeah, Finest First. Okay. That's a slightly different image than the Dansby, the other Dansby that I think we pulled last night, didn't we? I think we did pull a Dansby auto, but not on that card design, on a different card design. That Tanaka is a refractor. Yeah, the refractors, you know, sometimes I don't notice them until I'm getting ready to set them down, and then the light hits them in a different way, and then I notice, because of the angle I hold them here for you to see them better on the camera, it doesn't always refract where I can see it until I move in to set it down. That is to 250 on the Red Sox refractor. Nice Bregman rookie. So let's hope that we find, there's a price refractor. Let's hope that we find some Aaron Judge in here tonight. Benintendi. Yeah, I mean, you can usually see the rainbow of colors on there. Blue Wave Refractor Parallel Carlos Correa is our redemption. So that's our other hit out of this box. You can normally see the rainbow of colors on the refractors you can probably see them at the angle I hold them for the camera. It's just for me, I sometimes don't see them. There's an Ichiro refractor until I'm getting ready to set them down. Greineke to 150 because the light hits it at a completely different way when I'm holding it for you to see it than when I can see it. But normally, yeah, you can catch that rainbow of colors pretty easily. There is a Myers to 250. And even so, when I mess up and forget and stack one in the main stack, you can always like see the edge of it glowing. And I'll realize, oh, I stacked a refractor over in the base stack. Because once you get it flat, in this lighting anyway, as soon as it's flat, you can see it glowing with no problem. Yeah, that's a nice little Korea hit. That will be the Blue Wave parallel is pretty solid little hit there. Daggone, there is another Dansby Swanson. So the Braves are pretty happy right now. This one is Finest First in the green parallel to 99. So that is 2 Dansby hits that have come out. And the Braves are feeling like they got a bargain along about now. Alfaro for the Phillies. And that is not numbered, but of course it is a refractor. I think all the signature hits in here are refractors as far as I know. As far as I've noticed anyway. There's a Shipley refractor. Santana refractor to 99 in the green parallel. And there's Bryce Harper. Who they're speculating will be the $400 million man when he signs his next contract. Just seems amazing to me. But I guess it depends on how long, the length of the contract. So, Bregman, Reyes. And these inserts, if I may not have talked about them this time. I did last night, but I probably didn't tonight. The Breakthroughs inserts, they're prevalent, shall we say, and Finest. They aren't, I think there is an autograph parallel. I haven't pulled one yet, but I think there is actually an autograph parallel of them. And that is a refractor. But I do like that at least in this as well. This is, if you're ever looking this up in the price guide, I think that's, I don't think any of those come as a refractor. They were refractors before. All of the inserts in 2016 Finest were refractors, which kind of bugged me because I thought it made them less special. This is 250 to 250. And I thought that they should make them not refractors and occasionally put one in that is, as opposed to making every insert a refractor like they did last year. So this year they seem to have done it more like that. Whoops. Frazier there, refractor. Yeah, I mean, Steve is asking how can somebody make that kind of a deal with Bryce Harper and still afford to have a team? Because they have a ton of money. I mean, those teams all have so much money. And you've got to figure that's going to be spread out over, probably a 10-year contract or thereabouts. Even so, $40 million a year for one player is an incredible sum. But you've got so many things to consider beyond just your ticket revenue, your gate revenue. You've got all of your licensed apparel and other souvenirs and your TV fees and all our broadcast rights fees, I should say, and all of the other associated things. I mean, and especially for a team that has high-profile players, they bring in a lot of money. Syndergaard refractor. And that's one of the reasons, you know, that they have the salary cap and things that they have, is so that the teams that have a ton of money can't just go out and buy all the best players and leave all the smaller markets and the teams with less money, you know, nobody good to get. That's the 250 on the Chris Sale. And that's, of course, true of all the sports. I mean, that's why you have salary cap and everything. Basketball, football, the whole deal is so you don't have a few, not to disparage them, but Golden State Warriors are a good example of a team that has a lot of firepower, a lot of high-dollar players, but it's so you don't have, you know, 5 or 6 teams that are vastly superior to everything else. That is a refractor. And then everybody else playing for last place or whatever. But you know, the thing about the Warriors, there's another Ortiz Finest Career. So we did get 2 in this case, because we definitely got one last night, and there's another one. But anyway, in the case of the Warriors, you know, they drafted a couple of those players. Steph Curry, they got via draft. Klay Thompson, they got via draft. And so, you know, you get them for less money when they're young. When you've got to sign that next contract, when you're going to be paying the price. And they did have to cut some players, too, to be able to sign Durant. Cody Reed coming out for the Cincinnati Reds. A somewhat hometown team, about an hour and a half up the road. Hey, look, speaking of, I thought there was an autograph parallel. There is one. Yay. There's Contreras to 50. Nice refractor signature for the Cubs. Nice little hit. I like that very much. And I'm glad we pulled one, because I thought that it probably existed and we just hadn't seen it. Now we have. Reyes rookie refractor. You've seen a Cody Reed in every Finest break that you've watched. That's funny. That's a refractor for the Pirates. And another one right behind it. This one numbered to 150. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, sometimes you do get in little spells where it seems like you see the same player quite often. That happens to me when I break. I sometimes feel like I'm on a roll where I get a whole lot of one player or another. Thus far, I would say we've done pretty well on this half of the case. He's the Henry Owens of 2017. You're funny, man. Any Dodgers? No Dodgers signatures have come out yet. Now, refractors, I don't remember, but signatures, not yet. There's another hit for the Reds. Adam Duvall to 150. And there is our redemption for our Finest Finishes autograph. That would be our case hit, and it is Ivan Rodriguez. And I don't know what that's going to be numbered to. Joey Votto refractor and Musgrove to 150. I don't know why there's a Chapman to 50, straight up 50. I don't know why on the Topps checklist it doesn't, you know, on the Panini checklist it will tell you when you go what it's going to be numbered to. Ichiro to 250, but on the Topps it does not indicate what something will be numbered to. And we will go checklist verify both of our redemptions, of course, before we finish up the break, because you guys know that's just what I do. It's a Musgrove refractor. Whoops, I got a little, make sure nobody else got stuck in there. Arcia to 5. That's a 1 of 5. That's nice for the Brewers. Nice little rookie refractor hit numbered to 5. I'm not going to argue with that. Can I imagine working in the Topps redemption department? You know what? I think that the Topps redemption department is probably less stressful than the Panini redemption department, because Topps, you know, they've only got baseball really these days. I mean, they do have some other sports, I imagine. I can't think what they are, but they probably have something else. I know, obviously, they don't have basketball or football, because that's all Panini. Billy Hamilton for the Reds, refractor. But, you know, Panini's got all the major sports. Hockey, soccer, baseball, basketball, football, and everything, it seems like. It's got a million redemptions in it from Panini, and they've got 50,000 products for every single sport too. So I don't know, I think it would be more stressful to work in their redemption than it would be in the Topps redemption, but probably not very much fun in either case. All right, let's go checklist verify both of those. Of course, Korea, well, we know where these are going to go, but we're gonna go look at it anyway, because it's the right thing to do. All right, that is Finest Finishes. Well, where are you, friend? Oh, no, Finest. There we go. I do wish it would tell us. Let me just verify that this, and we know it's going to be Astros, but I want to find it on the list. Just in straight up Finest autographs. I do wish they would tell us what it's going to be numbered to, but they don't. So, and I want to do one more thing, because I have still not yet remembered all of, why can't I get back on here? I still haven't committed to memory all of our different short prints, but I do know the numbers are 101 to 125, so I'm just buzzing through here from the back side to see if we see any of those. And I would do, that's my cats chasing each other that you just heard, the big, yeah. Ruckus, I think ruckus is the right word. And normally, of course, I do search for these anyway before I send them out, and I generally will identify them as short prints for you when I ship them out. Occasionally, I might forget to mark one short print, but usually I do. But somebody did mention to me recently that sometimes they like to know their short prints while they are in the break. So that's why we're flipping through here, looking for numbers 101 to 125. While we're still live. And of course, we have our nightly random to do. Right there is one. Have our nightly random to do and our hits recap as well. It's just going to take one more second here so that we can see what other short prints we might have besides the McCutchen that we just found. Yep, there's one more. And I know some of you are probably like, I don't care about the short prints, but you should. Sometimes the short prints are worth as much as the signatures of some cards, a short print of some players is worth more than a signature of other players in some cases, is what I'm trying to spit out. That's 100, but that's not short. It starts with 101. All right, so our two short prints in this half would be the McCutchen for the Pirates and the Davis for the Orioles. We did pull a second Finest Careers die cut. We pulled one last night, a second one tonight here for the Ortiz die cut. We'll do a quick little spin here through our refractors, and it is always possible, that is the one that is 1 of 5. It is always possible that I accidentally stacked a refractor in the base pile as well. So keep that in mind. If you saw one go through and you don't see it in this pile, no worries. You're still going to get it. Just means I boneheadedly stacked it in the wrong place. Our redemptions, our Finest Finishes autograph, Ivan Rodriguez for the Marlins. That is our case hit. And then our Finest autograph, Blue Wave Refractor Parallel of Carlos Correa for the Astros. Our two redemptions, Adam Duvall to 150. Breakthroughs for Contreras, numbered to 50 for the Cubs. I forgot to show you the back of the Duvall, didn't I? I do usually like to look at the back of them just in case. Sometimes they have ink on the back of them where players have signed them and stacked them too soon and the ink hasn't dried. There's Cody Reed. Alfaro. The first Dansby Swanson, this one numbered to 99. And then a second Dansby Swanson, both in the Finest Firsts parallel. So those are the hits for this half case of 17 Finest. Keep in mind that the next breaks that are coming up for this are full cases. They're not halves. So always make sure when you're looking in the title that you're checking to see how many boxes it says and if it says half or full, because every once in a while I do switch it up from half to full and keep everybody on the same page. All right, now let's rock and roll here through our nightly redemption. And so what this is all about, guys, this changes up from month to month depending on, what I decide I want to do for any given month. So for the month of June, our nightly random winner is going to get a spot into a customer appreciation break that I plan on being July 1st unless something happens and I have to change it. And in that break, I will buy all of the products, and then anything that we pull out, I don't ship base from that, but then any hits that we pull out, the folks who have won these nightly randoms will have a chance to win those hits. And I'm leaning towards doing it as a hits draft, but I'm not 100% certain. We could either use hits draft or we could use, random.org. All right, so the first two, we don't know who those were because they came up as unpaid. So Spiders Soccer 14, that's who's going in tonight as our nightly random winner into that customer appreciation break. So Spiders Soccer 14, you are in, my friend. And that is it. That's the whole ball of wax for tonight. So again, expect this stuff to go out in the range of Monday. Sooner if I can get it to you, but most likely look for around Monday. And I got lots of stuff listed, so I hope you find something else you like and that I will see you again on another break. Thanks and have a great night.